All right, quick couple disclaimers before we hop into today's Switch 2 and the potential reveal time topic. One, if you were waiting for an official announcement from Nintendo, this is not it. Two, if you don't like rumor and leak content, you are on the wrong channel. So take that into consideration, manage your own expectations, takes personal responsibility for how you look at these situations. But if you are somebody who likes to know what's going on amongst the insider talk, quote unquote, and one of the insiders we're talking about is the most reliable we've ever had by the name of Pyoro, who of course had some controversy. Their account got deleted, their source got outed. It was a whole massive thing, but we occasionally see them come back and tease something, and they're teasing eyeball emojis. So we're going to break that down. PH Brazil, it seemed like at one point was saying that it would happen on Monday or Tuesday this week, so like the day you're watching this video or tomorrow. However, since then it's been clarified that he is saying that in more of a prediction. He does not know when Nintendo will reveal this thing, but he is also kind of weighing in on the issue here. And we also have a number of different things we've talked about just all lining up recently. Dr. Surikan Toto simply quote tweeting Switch 2, kind of insinuating he knows the name of the console. That's probably what it is. He's an analyst who has also had a track record of leaking some internal projects from Nintendo with these exact cryptic type of tweets. So all of that is lining up. Then you just straight up have a game studio, Playtonic Games, showing us Yuka Replay and closing out the trailer with a straight up tease and reference to this coming to Nintendo's next gen platform by just saying Nintendo in the bottom corner and putting eyeball emojis on top of it. You have a UK marketing manager actually responding with eyeball emojis to that, now deleting everything. There's a ton of different stuff. So again, nothing's confirmed. Nintendo can reveal this thing whenever. However, if there is any hope left for Team 2024, it is in the week we are in, and maybe, just maybe, as late as actually the November 5th investors briefing, where Nintendo has historically made some announcements, such as the Legend of Zelda movie at last year's investor meeting around this time, and maybe they just give us some kind of update like, you're going to see Switch 2 in X month in 2024. I think they will come out with some kind of update, considering it's been since May that Furukawa revealed to us that Nintendo Switch 2 would indeed be revealed within this fiscal year that we are in, which ends March 31st, 2025. So we're going to break everything down. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And we have to first talk about the individual that out of all the different insiders we have reported on over the course of history, I personally pay the most attention to, and this is none other than Pyoro, because this individual literally leaked the contents of, I don't know, 5-6 different directs almost in their entirety. Like everything that was an announcement that was a big deal outside of Thousand Year Door, I don't think that one got leaked out, but this individual, turns out they had access either to an employee or maybe they were the employee. It's not clear, but essentially the access of the eShop backend when Nintendo would advance build out pages for these games ahead of their announcements. He had access to that info before the public did, so he was able to go ahead and take to his online profile and tease what was coming in these directs. And there's just, it's not lucky guesses. There's Mario Wonder leaking beforehand with the title Wonder. Who's going to predict the title that's the next new Super Mario Bros is just going to be called Super Mario Bros. Wonder? Like all of that stuff, amongst many others. This individual has a flawless track record, other than the last Nintendo Direct where it was becoming clear that Pyoro's source had kind of been found out, or Nintendo essentially found out where the leaks were coming from and plugged that particular channel, because we saw them not build out eShop pages on the back end in advance of announcements like Echoes of Wisdom and Mario and Luigi Brothership and Jamboree. So Pyoro essentially said to manage your expectations, it would be a light direct in terms of first party announcements, and we know the June Direct was anything but a light direct for first party announcements. So anyway, they recently took to their shutdown profile online over on X, and they did update their actual name just to be eyeball emojis. And the other interesting piece of information is a picture of the Nintendo Alarmo clock that was recently revealed. Now, people are getting hung up on the numbers like 9:23 and 7 a.m. and what does all this kind of stuff mean? It doesn't appear that that's going to tie into anything. Like, I don't think March 10th is necessarily the release date. This is just a stock photo that Nintendo put out for promoting this product, so I don't think it's tied to that. Maybe we're getting Alarmo 2, and this is actually what Pyoro's teasing, but those eyeball emojis is what we actually have to dive into further, further because I already mentioned that Yuka Replay was recently teased online, and the end of it kind of being teased for the next gen console. Even the marketing post for this game said coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and ... Nintendo with eyeballs. And it's also been pointed out that the eyeballs dancing on top of the Nintendo icon were very reminiscent of the Cappy eyeballs. Like, it does literally look like they more or less modeled those after that particular set of eyeballs. Anyway, they clearly are trying to drum up hype for their game, but they're teasing it for Nintendo's next gen platform. This would not be the first time we've seen that happen, as you may or may not remember, Sonic Forces was actually teased for NX before its official Switch reveal. So sometimes companies do this. This is definitely the most notable one we've seen from a larger developer going out and saying they have a game in development for Nintendo's next gen platform. And then we have this whole marketing manager situation where a Nintendo of UK marketing manager actually replied to Playtonic's tweet about it coming to Nintendo's next gen platform just with eyeball emojis. Now, since then, this individual has completely locked down their social media accounts, and it seems like all of the information tied to their LinkedIn and everything suggesting they work for Nintendo is now gone and wiped as well, which, you know, hopefully they didn't get fired. Maybe it's disciplinary action and they're not allowed on social media until X amount of time, probably after the Switch 2 reveal. But this is the first notable time we've seen a straight up internal Nintendo employee commenting on anything related to social media in terms of speculation on Switch 2. So very interesting that they essentially got nuked off the internet, or maybe they were just choosing to do that themselves because they were getting blown up. You can read into that how you want, but all of that going on. Of course, we recently also talked about Dr. Suriken Toto's tweet, who he's had a track record at cryptic tweets, normally about once a year, honestly, where back all the way in 2021, he tweeted out Z2 2022, and that was the planned release time for the Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel that we knew to call it at that time, ultimately Tears of the Kingdom. And you might say it came out in 2023. Well, the trailer that was shown off that he was referencing that would be at the June Nintendo Direct that year, it did show 2022, and that was the plan for Nintendo to release it in that year at that particular time. Then we got that ZR 2023 tweet from him, and that was a week or two before the reveal of the Zelda movie that they actually announced at last year's investors briefing. Then we have PH Brazil, where you see some headlines that were initially flying around saying that PH Brazil believes that Nintendo Switch 2 is getting revealed this week, specifically on Monday or Tuesday, and that would be a very big indicator because this individual was the one telling us that Nintendo was doing a different setup with their directs this month and moving multiple presentations forward towards the end of August instead of having their traditional September time slots. We of course saw that come to fruition. They've gotten numerous other things right, but that would be a big quote to run with and say it's happening Monday or Tuesday for sure. However, this post from Necro Felipe actually does a good job clarifying exactly what happened with this situation, and then a straight up post of what Brazil said. So he said there's a misunderstanding in the web regarding PH words on yesterday's live stream that can lead mostly of the non-Brazilians to take conclusions aside from what he really wanted to mean with his opinion speculations related to Switch 2 reveal time. He then has a transcript that says, and I don't know when Switch 2 will be announced. I have conjecture, I have informed speculation at most. Like, people in the industry are saying that they think it's going to be here next week because this or that thing, such as a game has to be announced with Switch 2 logo and so on. So I don't know when it is, but I think it's next week. I think it's next week. Next week, I'll say it right now. Next week, I don't know. Monday, Tuesday at key times, I'll open Nintendo's Twitter and press F5 there, man, because it's everything indicates that it's now. It would be really weird if it was later than next week. Here he explains the relationship with the date and the financial results being released in November. Okay, so not confirmation, but rather Brazil informed speculation saying he believes it's in the week that we are in right now. Now, then the thing he referenced at the end, which is how it lines up with Nintendo's previous financial briefing and actually how they revealed the NX or the original Switch that we know and love today. Well, there's an interesting time correlation there as well, because in October of 2016, we know the console was revealed on the 20th. However, that was exactly 1 week to the day before Nintendo's investors briefing that year in 2016, which did happen on the 27th. So if you look at this year's calendar, and we know the financial briefing for 2024 will take place on November 5th, that would make the date exactly 1 week before that meeting, the 29th, so Tuesday. That would mean that at any point as soon as this evening, Nintendo would take to social media to say, tune in tomorrow morning for the first look at at their next gen hardware, or maybe they tweet out tomorrow morning, take a look in the afternoon later this evening for the next gen hardware, or maybe they don't give us an advance announcement this time and they just drop it. I'm hoping they at least give us 12 to 24 hours advance notice. No telling for sure, but if there was ever a week where you could put some kind of prior pattern with how Nintendo has announced their consoles in the past, it's this week that we are in. And you just also have all of these accounts coming back out of the woodworks, like Pyoro teasing the eyes, that's tied to the Yuka Replay and tied to the UK marketing manager from Nintendo. There's a lot of smoke around this week. Again, manage your expectations. Nothing is set in stone until Nintendo does it, but we've had this looming Switch 2 reveal since May 7th, which is awfully odd for Nintendo's president Shintaro Furukawa to go out and communicate that early that the console will be revealed within this fiscal year, and then wait all the way until into January, February, or March of the following year. I really do think this week is looking highly likely, but again, not confirmed until Nintendo says it. So I am hopeful. This is the last stand for Team 2024. If we don't get anything by November 5th, I will officially be on Team 2025 for my reveal prediction, which is fine by me. Again, this is all fun and games, all fun to speculate and have a good time predicting what Nintendo might do, and us fans are ready, at least I know I am, for their next gen hardware, as I've had a fantastic freaking run with the Nintendo Switch. Absolutely love all my games on there, but I've been playing the same console since March of 2017. I'm ready for a new piece of hardware from Nintendo outside of just the OLED upgrade, which was like, you know, a nice minimal mid-gen refresh, if you will. But let me know in the comments down below if you have any more or less hope for Team 2024 potentially getting a win here with the Switch 2 reveal right at the last moment, or do you think that the ship has already sailed and likely we're not seeing anything in terms of a new hardware reveal until 2025 at the soonest? So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.